Hey, so it's been a minute since I've uploaded on this channel, and I'm still not a fan of doing intros, but if you don't know me, hi, I'm Jox, and if you forgot you were subscribed, welcome back. I really do appreciate all 7 of you who clicked on this video. Anyways, these are the main things that I wanted to talk about, so I'll start with what I've been up to.
You helped me. I can be around people now. I hate it, but I can do it without vomiting.
So that was an animation I did mostly for lip sync practice, but I also wanted to make a video of headcanon voices I had for my OCs. However, the one I did with my character Jody here took like 9 months, and the concept of doing that for 6 more characters is overwhelming to say the least. I haven't given up on that project yet, but I hope with more practice animating, I'll get faster at it somehow. As a side note, I already want to redo this animation. I don't know, my standards keep going up after each project and I can't keep up. Moving on, I'll show you the next thing that I've been up to. I do want to mention that it's unfinished, and so I just added in music so things wouldn't be quiet, but I do plan to add some actual sound design and maybe voice acting later. Originally, I wanted to draw this as a webtoon style comic, but the learning curve felt like it would take more time than actually making the dang thing. Because I wasn't in a mood to learn a whole different format, I decided to stick with what I knew best, which was video editing. Anyways, like I mentioned before, I'd love to add voice acting to this once it's finished, but that's thinking way too far ahead. So for now, working on the lip syncing and this animatic comic, whatever you want to call it, have been my 2 main focuses. I do plan to animate some of the comic because one of my characters has this special ability he does, and I want to show it at its full potential. I did try animating it for some practice, but it's basically a snake tattoo that transforms into like actual snakes. I'm gonna indulge myself into a bit of a tangent of what his ability is, just to add a bit more context of what he does. So, for those who don't know, this is Timothy, the Sin of Envy, in my 7 Deadly Sin cast, and he has snakes tattooed on his back that manifest as astral, semi-physical snakes, and are extensions of his nervous system. One of the snakes can heal, while the other can cause harm. They have their own conscience and move and activate on their own instincts, so he really doesn't have much control over them. Now, for the sake of simplicity, and at least for myself, I'll refer to the quote-unquote healing snake as Atlas, and the quote-unquote harmful snake as Arlo. To explain more of how these guys work, Atlas will bite her target and numb the area with an anesthetic, so it's not a painful bite, just a small sting, and then connect to that person's immune/nervous system. Examples of what she can do is that she can heal wounds quicker, help fight off infections, slow down bleeding, and release endorphins to dull any pain. But while the person he's treating feels the pain fade, Timothy begins to feel a phantom-like pain. For Atlas to understand what needs to be treated, Timothy's nervous system has to mirror the exact pain signals. He could be treating someone with a broken bone, stab wound, etc. and feel the exact same pain, just without the physical injury. Now, the more harmful snake, aka Arlo, works the same, but differently. Instead of regulating the nervous system, it attacks it. When it bites, it amplifies existing pain, so a paper cut can feel like a stab wound and a bruise can feel like a shattered bone. It has the ability to flood the system with shock that it causes temporary paralysis, and just as a way of turning the body against itself. Now stay with me because it doesn't end there. After he heals someone, Timothy's nervous system gets so overstimulated it feels like shards of glass are stabbing through his skin. The only way he can get rid of this painful sensation is if he uses Arlo, aka the snake that is capable of violence, to hurt someone. For him, it's like throwing up after feeling sick. Hurting someone is what finally makes him feel okay in his own body again, at least until the next time he has to use Atlas to heal. Mind you, he doesn't go out hurting random people to get that relief. He chooses prison inmates, people he can label as guilty and deserving of punishment, which is how he frames it to keep his sanity. That kind of reasoning helps him feel morally justified, but trust me, it will become a giant moral dilemma for him later on. So one of his jobs is being a prison executioner, where carrying out death row sentences gives him a controlled environment and a steady supply of people he can justify hurting. He basically uses the system to manage his condition. Now, he can kill with Arlo, and that's what he does with inmates on death row, but that's not always the case. Like I said, sometimes hurting someone, not to the extent where he kills them, still gives him some relief, which is where things start to blur for him. Because outside of the prison, that same logic follows him. If he sees someone he thinks is doing something wrong, something he can label as deserving, he'll use them too. So for Timothy, it's not at all about bringing justice to people, it's just about finding relief in hurting others without feeling guilty. Okay, so I'd love to go into more detail about this ability and how it ties into the sin of envy, but we'd be here all day. I don't know, maybe I'll save it for when I make a video exploring/explaining each sin and what they do, but I don't know, let me know if that sounds interesting. Some other stuff that I've done so far is this Pitbull Terrier animation meme with my characters Cyrus and Amara, Cyrus being the sin of lust and Amara is his little sister. I like to think that a nickname he had for her growing up was Amara Capybara. I don't think she even knew what a capybara was. On a much smaller scale, I made this one reel with Timothy to compare his current design to his first, and I want you to guess what character people could have possibly compared his OG design to.
Hey guys, I hope we all have a fun game, no matter who ends up winning.
I want to kill that guy.
Personally, I'm more of a Kiribaku kind of guy, but to each their own. Anyways, I do think I sent mans up. I mean, Evil Jax does sound like Deku. Besides all that, I actually got a few comments asking if Timothy was inspired by Zahak, which is an Iranian mythology. Which he isn't. I actually only found out about that myth through those comments, but it's been very fascinating to research. To wrap up what I've been up to, besides being extremely inactive on this channel, is that I've been doing majority of commissions here and there and character illustrations, nothing super crazy yet. But what can I say? I'm a simple man who likes to indulge in quick and easy OC content for myself, alright? I also updated a few things here on my channel, such as the banner, where I wanted to display my main cast for Cypherglass, since that's pretty much what I want the core of my channel to be. Just take a minute and look at all their wonderful and charming little expressions. Yes. This piece was actually inspired by an illustration my friend Sierra did for me a few years back, a lineup of my main 7 with their respective colors that I've been fascinated with ever since. Actually, go check out their page right now. Another update I have for you is this backdrop. As you've probably noticed, if you watched any of my other videos before, it is a little different. I wanted to try out something new, and this dog sort of serves as a mascot. I'm still figuring that out. I just think big dogs are cool, and I was jealous of Emily Elizabeth growing up, and this is me ending that jealousy because now I have one to match my persona. Yeah. And I still have my little cat here, aka Violet, who has unfortunately passed away, but I'll talk about that later. As for future plans, I've thought about making another short film, aka just a short trailer for Cypherglass. I want to attempt making an animatic of it first though, and you see, I'd love to show a proof of concept, aka just like a work in progress of that, but it's gonna take me way longer to get this video out, which was just supposed to be a quick update, but it's actually been like 3 months in the making of this quick little update video. But as for the future of this channel, I cannot promise frequent uploads. Like I said, everything I have in mind is a long-term project, but I could spit out very short and quick animations here and there, like this one that I'm trying to finish with my OC Amara, just to, just for practice. And my other future plan is to, well, get a job. I actually already sent in an application to a retail place, and I was gonna wait until after I finished and posted this video, but I just got too anxious thinking about it and just sent it in a couple days ago. It's been 5 days. But anyways, I know getting a job is gonna take more time away from doing videos, and I mean, considering how inefficient I am at making videos now while unemployed, I don't even know what it's gonna look like. Now I'm gonna switch to the more life-oriented updates, and well, starting on a bit of a serious bummer, my cat Violet passed away in February of 2025. I had her since I was 7 years old, and she passed away when I was 23. I have some pictures where she used to sit on my windowsill above my computer while I worked, and I feel really guilty that I was on my computer so much, like in the last few months of her life, because all she wanted to do was cuddle all day, of course, but I also just wanted to sink my head into my work as much as possible as a way from distracting myself from her declining health. She had kidney failure, so yeah, taking care of a sick cat that you had for more than half your life. No one tells you how to deal with that properly, emotion wise. And yeah, because of her age and how rapidly she was declining, we just decided it was best to put her down. Instead of focusing on what I could have or should have done differently, I focus on that it was a privilege to have her for as long as I did. And so here's some more pictures. I'll probably only put a few because it makes me too sad to look at too many of them. But fun fact, I named her after Violet from The Incredibles. On a more lighthearted note, I saw Billie Eilish last year in November, and that was awesome. But it's kind of embarrassing because all of the videos that I took is me singing along intoxicated. You can hear Billie in the background though. She's my background vocals. At least the visuals are pretty decent. At least I think. I'm no videographer. And it was actually really cool because there was a fan project going on and a girl handed me this red slip of paper for, I can't pronounce the song, but it's this one. And that added to the experience even more. It was really great, and I got the jersey that I've been dying to have for like a year. I'll put whatever pictures I have of that here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Besides that, I turned 24 and I had a K-pop Demon Hunters cake. Yes, at my grown age.
6'7". I'm such a fat fucking chud.
Now, I wasn't gonna mention this, but I thought it would be a fun note to end on. Gachiakura has significantly blown up, and I just wanted to flex that Kaiurana liked and reposted my engine fan art twice. I will take that accomplishment to my grave. Granted, it was when the fandom was smaller pre-anime release. But fun fact, when I first read Gachiakura, I fell in love with Enjin's design so hard that I had to make an OC solely based off his design, which turned out to be Cyrus, my sin of lust. Somebody pointed out that it looked like Enjin in my Hi I'm Jocks video at the very end of the video because I snuck in Cyrus's first design, and I was like, dang, I didn't know I'd be found out so soon. But anyways, Cyrus is our love child. That pretty much sums up everything I wanted to talk about in this little update video. If it was your first time watching me, hi, hello, I hope I made an impression. And if you're subscribed but forgot you were, hi, hello, I hope you don't want to unsubscribe. If you want to keep up with what I'm doing, I'm relatively active on my Insta, but other than that,